The wrinkles between your eyebrows are extra deep. Yeah? Well, how about you shut up and come over here and show me what else can go extra deep? Hello, and welcome to Blightborn. This is an apocalyptic monster horror dating sim in which you awaken in a strange facility. Luckily, or maybe unluckily, you don't seem to be alone in this large building. There's someone else here, and he really wants you. Let's get started. The blight started as hope, a breakthrough designed to terraform dead lands, restore lost harvests, and save humanity from itself. But something went wrong, as expected from something called the blight. It spread, just like my legs later when I see the main love interest. It changed everything. The blight evolved beyond control, infecting humans and forcing their bodies into rapid adaptation. Their minds shattered, their bodies transformed. The infectors started to attack and consume human flesh. They became predators, driven by instinct to spread the blight. You were just an intern when it began, a nameless cog in the bio-research team. Then the world started to rot, and the weight of its salvation fell onto your shoulders. Since then, you dedicated yourself to studying its development, trying to undo what the industry had unleashed. Then, the accidents began. Just a harmless prank, you thought. Now it's clear. You were close. Too close for your own good. Isn't that how it always is with me, though? Too close for my own good? They want you silenced. You never silence me. I'm ungovernable. The dim light blinds you as you try to open your eyes. A sharp ringing in your ears. Your body is heavy and your limbs are sluggish. I was in the lab, and then my head. A dull throbbing pain spreads through your skull as you push yourself up. The ground beneath you feels cold and dusty. Your vision slowly adjusts. You're standing in a corridor. No windows. No sunlight. Flickering lights overhead casting erratic shadows. The air is damp, thick with the scent of chemicals, rot, and something metallic. Also, the art style is gorgeous. It's so pretty. I love how the dev draws the eyelashes. This place, an underground facility. You try and take a step forward, but your knees almost buckle. You brace against the wall, fingers splayed against the cold surface, and then your hand meets something wet. A sticky fluid coats your palm. You freeze. Slowly, you lift your hand. Faint crimson smears your fingertips. Blood. It seems fresh. Someone or something was here recently. I need to get out of here. You force your body to move, scanning your surroundings. The corridor stretches in two directions, and there are no signs or labels to guide you. Think. There has to be a way out. A control room. If I can find it, I can access the facility's layout. You steady yourself, inhaling deeply as you walk through these halls. You notice streaks of dark stain along the walls and floor. Not just blood, but something else. Scratches and smudges, as if someone had dragged themselves, or been dragged through these holes. The corridor seems like a maze, and thanks to the tears and blood markings, you can navigate through these indistinguishable holes. Well, there's a silver lining to everything. Finally, after walking for what seems like hours, you find a corridor with doors. Many doors lead to this hole. It seems to be a cross point to the facility. You take a peek into the tinted windows of each doors and could make out the rooms, the medical wards, the laboratory, the archive, the storage, a room full of test tubes. Test tubes! You scan the inside of the room from the window. Once it's clear from any movements, you slowly unlock the door. This does not look good. Your eyes didn't trick you. Test tubes for humans. You look closer. People in the tubes are in different stages of blight infection. This abandoned place is a blight research facility, which means this place holds the equipment I need to create a cure. I can continue my development on the cure before I escape. If I scan the area and make sure it's safe, I can stay here for a while. Your eyes wander to the tubes that have been shattered. One of them seems fresh. You're feeling weak, unsure if you can handle one of them barehanded. I can handle lots of things barehanded. Ahem. I have to stay on guard. The air is heavier, but you can't be sure if it's because of your exhaustion. Or perhaps you're already losing your grip on your previously healthy mind. Sanity isn't that important at this stage of matters anyhow, so long as you remain functional. Functional, and not infected. And finally, the last two doors. Blood covered its window. You couldn't make out the inside of the rooms. Surely one of them has to be the control room. Careful not to call unwanted attention, you unlock the door. You open it slightly and listen. You frown, contrary to your expectations. There is no clear silence or noise. The former usually means you're safe. The second is that you're probably not. But this, breathing, steady, and calm breaths. Is it a survivor? No, it's your new boyfriend. Would you take the chance to enter the room? You know what? Because I have no self-preservation, yes. You can't lock the door. Sooner or later, you'll have to face what's behind it. Better to scan the room now than having it jump on you later. At last, you enter. Hehe. God, he's so pretty already. Oh my god. I want him so bad. Hi, do you come here often? I mean, you live here, so I guess you've been here quite a lot. You freeze. For goodness sake. Of all things, the last thing you would have expected to find is him. And unconscious to boot. Wait, do I know him? With his immobility, you take your chance to satisfy your curiosity. You squat closer, examining his face first and then the rest of his body. Is he naked? I think he's naked. How big is it? Does he have two? Wounded, limp on the ground. Awkward position. Black veins crisscrossing his body. He's clearly affected by the blight. However, you feel it's not your responsibility. You're on your own mission, and you don't even know what intentions he has. By helping him, you might be risking too much. But as the human population continues to dwindle, it would be a pity to let him die here. Exactly. I think we should save him. For not selfish reasons. What should I do? Well, obviously we are helping. I mean, how could I just leave him lying there? Look at him. I had to find the stabilizer serum. It could temporarily hold back the symptoms. This could be a chance to test the lab's current antiviral on him. You try and find a reason to justify saving him. Having made your decision, you make your way to the medical lab. Despite the crunching of broken glass beneath your feet, you don't slow down. If you're going to help, you might as well come back to someone who's still breathing. You see the familiar red hoses hanging from the ceiling. You enter the lab and delicately sweep the cables away as you search for your serum. If any of these are still live, you're toast. Thankfully, that doesn't come to pass and it's safe to search around. Violating several storage protocols, you finally find the stabilizer among a few other substances next to a cabinet. With the serum out in the open for who knows how long, you doubt that the serum is effective anymore, but I don't lose anything for trying. That's true. At worst, he'll turn into an uglier corpse. That's terrible. The side effects can't be worse than swelling and rashes. Or at least that's what your manuals say. With the vial securely in hand, you push away the cables blocking your way out and head back. Once again, you keep up the pace. Urgency magnifying the closer you get to the surgery room. You let out a sigh as you find that he's there and breathing. I need to be cautious. You tie him up with whatever cable you can find. Hey yo! Better than nothing. Not wanting to catch his disease, you put on your gloves and gingerly position yourself next to his body. Taking your time, you grab at his wrist, rolling it in your hands until you locate the main vein. There you are. Needle at the ready, you extract the serum from the vial and gently poke the needle in. The translucent liquid goes in as you press down, and soon it's all gone, fully injected. Time for some precautions. I should wait and see if anything happens. It's supposed to take effect in a couple of minutes, but it feels like ages as you stay there waiting for a reaction. Nothing. Maybe I should just leave. At that moment, you hear him take a deep breath, sucking in air like it's water. I'll suck something else in later, if you know what I mean. You turn your gaze back to his face and you find a pair of eyes staring back at you. They're completely white irises, giving you an expression that you can't read into. He jolts forward before you can even plan your escape, but he stops you right in front of you. Looking down at you, he stares for a while longer and you don't dare move. Then he smiles. Oh, how cute. Yiddy, this is a biohazard monster. I know, but he's naked and he's hot. Oh, you're so cute. I love you so much. You wanna get married? Well, time to lower the voice. Scared of a man who was on death's doorstep seconds ago. Is he serious? What are you? You tell me. Dangerous. You're stressed. No wonder your hair's all white. He did not just say that. It's called fashion. Excuse me? I recommend that you cease saying anything further about my hair. I don't think you're in any capacity to call the shots around here. Looking at his toned physique. Yep, I sure am looking. You really should be careful in how you interact with him. As much as you hate that fact, since you're definitely not stronger than him, you have to rely on your gil and wit to get out of here. I revived you, you know? You like to think I owe you. Okay, well, I didn't do it to be owed, but maybe you could be a bit nicer to me. You do? Oh, okay. He chuckles. Perhaps he's amused, insane, or just cruel. You hold back a flinch as he quickly lowers his face to your level. If that's the case, then I'll repay you, dear savior. Now, how should I go about that? You mentally sort through your options, but you don't think there's much else he can do other than helping you find the cure. But he's not someone to trust. Not fully, anyway. I need to get out of this place. He clicks his tongue. You're lost, and you need protection from the other murderous beings. Not wanting to waste your time anymore, you nod. He then effortlessly breaks through the restraints you tied him in. So that didn't help at all. You're lucky I didn't find you first. That doesn't sound promising. Let's just say it wasn't for you. But for the time being, consider yourself safe. He almost sounds like he's bluffing, but the glint in his eyes tells you otherwise. God, I don't know why, but he gives me like Nanoka vibes from Honkai Star Rail, and I'm all here for it. You don't want him as your enemy. What's your name? So you let me tag along without ever asking. I'm not rude. Call me Lykos. Can I call you husband? I would say nice to meet you, but saying such a thing is laughable given our current arrangement. Tell him your name. Yinny. Yinny. I like that. Alright, that's enough chit-chat. Where are you heading? Ooh, let's go top down. Control room first. Laboratory, archive, storage, medical ward, test tube room, surgery room. The room is filled with dead monitors and some flickering lights. There's no power. Maybe I can find the power station in the storage room. Then I can figure out how to turn on the power. I need power. You sure do. It's like I'm wasting my breath trying to talk to him. You leave the control room and head towards the storage. You find what you needed, the power station, and you stare at it. Staring at it won't help you. I'm trying to figure out how to turn on the power. Let me guess, you can't. Are you just here to aggravate me? I'm a bio-researcher, not an electrician. Let the man at it. He's smug as you frown. You decide to step away and look at him working from the side. After fiddling with the switches, you can hear the power running. To think he's this useful. Lykos turns around and smiles at you, as if he's waiting for something. A head pat? Thank him. Thank you. That's all you're gonna say. Why? Did you expect something more? What else should I say? I don't know. Maybe a praise? Ooh, does somebody like getting praised? I mean, I have a lot of praise to give you. Would you like to be called good boy? You did well. He laughs as if it was the funniest thing he's heard in a while. You are a lost cause. Oh, anytime, my lady. He laughs and winks at you. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. Now that it's working, let's go. Laboratory? This lab has more chemicals than what I can ever hope to get at home. I don't have anything on hand right now. If I can find out more, then I can create the cure here. Archive. I should be able to find some useful information here. Lykos scowls at the sides of the cabinets. Looks boring to me. Is there going to be anything useful here? Yes. Archives like this could tell us where to find things. Or even if they've already developed a cure. It'll take a bit of reading, but if we do this together, Lykos lets out a yawn of displeasure. Really not interested in this method of searching. Look, just start from the left if you want to look for anything. I'll be over here. Fine. Ignoring his boredom, you head over to the first cabinet. As you look through the cabinets, however, you notice a problem. Lykos? Yes? On your end, are the archive towers wet? Not wet now, but they were. He unceremoniously slaps a stack of tablets down on the table nearby. You hurry over and take a look. The tablets are all glitchy, a clear sign of water damage. I can't read any of these. There's a high possibility of sabotage. There's no water leaks in here, so someone deliberately soaked them. Humidity isn't enough to destroy something like this either. Keep looking. If you can find any undamaged tablets, let me know. Sure. You do the same for a while longer. Then a glint catches your attention at the top of the shelf. A small plastic folder. Taking it off the shelf, you open it. The face of Lykos greets you, labeled as Subject X LKS31. Can't believe he was human at some point. You glance over to Lykos. Don't try to be sneaky. I can feel your gaze. He posed. Want to take a closer look? Yes, please? Looks down. I was looking over for just a second. No. You turn your focus to the tablet in your hands, trying to read more about him and find details about his infections. His infection was documented. They deliberately infected him. Other sections are glitching. You can't make out the details. No, but I can make out with him. I should try to fix this. This will prove useful to understand his attitude better. You slip the folder under your coat, but something falls from it. You quickly bend down and pick it up, your eyes widening as you inspect it. A master key card. Hey, this is getting too boring. I don't think it's of any use anyway. Hey, stop acting like a petulant child. And also, as much as I like seeing you like this, put some pants on. You turn to him, keycard in hand. Good news then. I found a keycard we can use. Thank God, let's get out of here. This place stinks. You are so immature. Where are you headed? Medical ward. The passages in the medical ward are wide, so Lykos and your movements through the space create soft echoes. The low buzz of the lights helps to mask them, but even so, you remain wary. The wrinkles between your eyebrows are extra deep. Yeah? Well, how about you shut up and come over here and show me what else can go extra deep? I'm not that old. Well, you don't look old at all, that's for sure. Now, personality-wise, you don't face him, keeping your gaze forward as you scan the room. Anyway, my point is, you look really worried. What am I doing? The day has worn me out a bit, and I hope that these lights do not explode over our heads. Yeah, it'd be tragic for us to end up in the dark alone. Are you flirting? Or am I just delusional? Yes. Attackers most likely have an advantage if they strike in such a scenario. I'll ward off enemies in the dark then. I can see just fine, you know? Suddenly, heavy fast steps thunder against the floor in your direction. Something's coming. Let's go. And it's not me? You turn to run, but you can't find the exit. Lykos, follow me. Without warning, he clamps his hand over your mouth and leans over your shoulder. Shut up and stay put. Keep listening for any more of these things. Don't tell me to shut up. It doesn't matter if you want to resist his orders, because the moment he turns from you, a hollow breaks into the room. You want to cover your ears at the horrific shriek of the creature, but you remember Lykos' orders. The hollow throws itself onto him, clinging to his arms as it tries to rip it off. With a sudden force, Lykos pushes back the hollow's other limb, clutching at its throat. A desperate scream rings as Lykos holds firm, applying more pressure. Slimy, dark red blood oozes from the organic matter of the neck as Lykos manages to crush its throat single-handed. Can he crush my throat single-handed? Yiddy! Mortally wounded, it jerks forward in an attempt to kill its attacker, using a shard of jagged metal protruding from its shoulder as a makeshift knife. Lykos yells. He hisses at the jab that leaves a long narrow cut on his midsection. Unable to stay put any longer, you run to them. Stay back! Oh my god. You know, he was hot before, but now he's also incredibly hot. He's just giving me more Nanook vibes. You halt, biting your lips at the anger in his eyes as he gives you a single glance. I've got this. Come here, little fungus. Is that what he calls it? And your eyes widen in horror as he grabs the hollow's head and bashes it against the wall. Once, twice, and thrice. By the time he's done, the hollow is a bloody pulp. The ground is covered in gore and sinew. You can see some electronic components sticking out, presumably a cybernetic implant that belonged to the once human victim. It's all you can focus on. The thing was human at some point, that you can't deny. I feel sick. What a rush. With his assault finish, he turns to you. Strands of his hair stick out due to his attack. But what's more distracting is the flecks of blood and gore on his face and torso. His hands are coated in blood too, almost appearing like paint. Hey, I've got an idea. Should we keep this thing's remains for you to experiment on? Throw it away from here, please. He rolls his eyes. As you wish. Killjoy. Hey! He tosses it to the side, the pulpy remains of the body landing with a loud splatter. You know, I expected him to be really, like, stoic and angry, but the fact that he can be a little bit petulant and is bantering with us is actually really pleasant. As strange as it is to have him return to your side with his hands covered in gore, you can't help but be thankful for his presence. Now that he's closer, you look at his abdomen better. You could apply first aid, but it doesn't seem to be too bad of a cut, and the fear of getting infected is pointless now. Either of you might be, and the only thing that offers a chance of survival, besides escaping from here, is the cure. What? Something on my face. Let's move. You dismiss his attempts at humor and head out. Alright, let's go to the test tube room. You enter the room with all the tubes once more. Among all the test tubes, your eyes first find the ones with broken glass. Your gaze shifts to Lykos, who doesn't look particularly impressed. Did you come from that thing? He hums in admission. I think I did. How'd you manage to awaken? I'm not sure, I just did. This might be related to the loss of power. Testing your hypothesis. You examine a nearby machine, putting your ear close. You hear the telltale hum of whirring parts underneath its surface. Not that. Eager to try sleeping in one of those too? No! I wish I could afford to sleep right now. You move to the control, seeing which lever and button manages which test tube. Although in truth, you know how to use this. It's been a while, but the controls are the same. I need to run a scan. I'm not getting back into that thing. Not you, just me, and you'll run it. His lips are set in a thin line of concern. It could go wrong. It's actually quite simple, look. You call him over and he silently watches next to you. You press these first, and then pull the lever. And after my scan is done, it'll print out a paper from that slot. Understood? At his silence, you glance up at him. For a second, you think you see something soft in his eyes as you meet them, but it's gone as he nods. Understood. You open the tube and go in. You gulp as he closes the lid, knowing you have to trust that he won't leave you locked in or will meddle with the machine. He goes back and gets it working and you close your eyes. And the machine works its magic, performing a scan of your body. Ow! Before you can react, you feel the machine take a blood sample. What? I didn't consent to this. They said it was just gonna scare me. The machine continues until finally, you can hear the printer finally working. Lykos is already opening the door for you to come out before you completely open your eyes. That was faster than I expected. He reaches out to grab your arm to help you out. You almost shove him away, but something tells you that you could just let him. So you do. The hands that could break down concrete gently lead you out. Thank you. He only flashes a smile. And before you can do it, he takes the paper and hands it to you. I didn't even attempt to read it, so it's your turn to work your magic. Your eyes scan the report, drinking in as much information as you can. Nothing is strange until pure blood. Now that definitely sounds like witch stuff. What's with the white eyes? I'm completely immune. I knew it! 2? The blight. He narrows his eyes in confusion, skeptical. Time to tap myself like a juice box and synthesize a cure for my blood. The report says I have the blight in my body, but nothing's happened to me. I've got antibodies actively keeping it at bay. Any particles that are being introduced into my system aren't managing to do much before they're swallowed by my immune system. You're an anomaly. Well, I've been called much worse. In a way, yes. This is amazing news. My blood could be used to make a proper antiviral. I have to look at the details in more depth later. Yeah, you should. Who knows what other superpowers you might gain from this. If you don't at least get some kind of ability, I'd say you just got ripped off. You know, it's nice to see that you retain some of your humanity and humor. You smile at his humor and together you go into the hallway. Alright, surgery room. You decide to head back to the surgery room. Perhaps there's something you missed here. However, you quickly find that your hunch was incorrect. Empty. Well, obviously, we were just here. And I was here long before that. You glance at him. What do you mean by that? Well, it clearly means that I'm the only thing that was worthwhile in this room in the first place. You roll your eyes. Despite your unimpressed expression, he smirks. You look like you want to bite back with a snarky response. Oh yeah, I'll definitely bite something. You scoff, still scanning the area in the vain hope that there's something worthwhile here. Your search, however, is hampered by your erstwhile companion's commentary. I don't think you're the shy type. Come on, say something. What a nonsensical person. Perhaps the blight has eroded some of his sanity, or perhaps he was always this unhinged. Strange. Suddenly bashful? Or are you just enraptured by me? Yeah, a bit of both. I simply do not engage in conversation with a man, if I can call you that, who makes us both waste our time. I don't think it's a waste of time. With such a pretty face at my side, how could it be? Shut up! You raise an eyebrow at him and he stares back, a sneer creeping up on his face. Wait, are you blush? Before you can get a good look, you spin on your heels towards the exit. He's not that good looking. That is where you are wrong. Without waiting for him, you leave the room. Where are you heading? Back to storage? The smell of sanitized medical supplies pricks your nose as you enter. There's some handy tools in here. Perhaps there's something else you can find here. At least, that's what you hope. I'm looking for medical supplies. Something we can use to make an antiviral. Oh, what's that? Something to help with the blight. Uh-huh. Well, if you need something, I suppose I can take a break. A break from what? To your surprise, Lykos does his part to examine the different tools and ingredients scattered about. Then you notice him opening a vial of thimerosal. Do not touch that. Why not? It's a mercury-based compound. We need it for the antiviral. And? If you expose it to air, it might become contaminated. I need a clean sample if I'm going to make this successfully. No, can't I touch it a little? Shush! No! You continue to search, with Lykos picking up items and bringing them to you with childlike glee. After what feels like an hour, you're about to give up when, nestled deep inside one of the refrigerators, you find what you're looking for. Yes! I found it! That antiviral thing. Antiviral, and sort of. You show him the small jar which contains a bluish-white substance. This compound should form the base of the antiviral. It's not complete yet, but if we didn't have this, it'll be a hell of a lot more difficult. So that means we're done here. It seems kind of sad that you managed to find your compound so quickly. What, did he think this was a date? That's kind of cute though. Perhaps he enjoyed the break from hunting and hiding from creatures. Regardless, he leaves the storage room with you. Laboratory. Alright, I have all the components. This time for sure, I can create the antiviral. You might want to sit back while I do this. Lykos shrugs but leans against the closest wall. Despite your focus on reading your documents again, measuring and adding the substances in the correct amount and size, you can tell he's watching you. You poke a vein of yours and add the last needed drops to the antiviral. Finished. It's stable. So you think you can keep making it so long as you have a clean space to make more. Alright, back to control. You found the old footage and the camera logs from before, and you need to look for a way out. You recall seeing a button labeled Facility Exit. The controls are the barrier to the outside world. You find it again but notice something you didn't see before. A slot designed for a keycard. You smile to yourself as you slide the master keycard into the slot. The machine accepts the keycard, and through the cameras you can see the exit door lighting up. Now all you need is the master key to leave here. Lykos watches over your shoulder as you press the button. In the distance, you hear the rumble of machinery. Looks like the door's up. It is. We can leave at any time. Where are you heading? The exit. With the exit open and the antiviral in your hands, you don't want to waste any more time here. Lykos. He raises his eyes to you. What will you do about him? But obviously, for our canonical ending, we are bringing him with us. I have to go now. Oh. Yes, but are you coming as well? His eyes lighten up at your question. You're asking me out. No? But if you want to take it that way, absolutely, yes. Would you like to be my husband? Outside. He dismisses your correction, positioning himself right beside you as you walk out of the room. Let's go outside then. With him beside you, you calmly open the exit. Cold air hits your face, and yet you can't be more glad about it. You escape with Lykos and the crucial antiviral. You hope that this will ensure mankind's continued survival. And with Lykos at your side, perhaps the road ahead will be that much safer. He's so hot. This is the end of the demo. So that was one of the endings. I want to try and get the other three. I'm assuming one is we leave without him. So let's leave without him. Thank you for guarding me. He tilts his head, as if he didn't quite grasp my gratitude. I must go now. Oh, he laughs. Right, obviously. I think I hurt his feelings. Are you sure you have to already? Certainly. He nods absently and doesn't look up at you. Oh, he's lonely. Well, you're an interesting one to be sure. Goodbye. I don't want to say goodbye. I'm in love with him. You fear he might plot something against you, so as soon as you turn around, you sprint to the exit. He's so fast you don't get to react. Your eyes are covered by his hand, and the rest of your body is locked within his arms when you can see again. As much as you struggle, you can't even jerk back to hit his face. Why are you doing this? He lets out a hiss of breath, unsure of what to say, but then his breathing is on your neck. I can't let you go now. Your body goes tired of resisting. Can't you stay? You would have thought he wanted to tear you apart. Yet his request is almost intriguing. It gives you a bit more space. And while he had you immobilized now, the position is almost an embrace. Why me? He doesn't look you in the eye, instead facing the ground as if embarrassed. You're not the warmest person alive, but maybe he hasn't met any others who are actually live humans. Just because you intrigue me. It's been so long since I've interacted with a human who didn't want to dissect me. In resignation, you sigh. The time you have is fleeting, but now you must understand. Or maybe you want to understand. As you wish, he flashes an eerie, unnatural grin. You're mine now. Stay here with me, forever. It's too late to try and escape now. I mean, he was just lonely. Are we justifying the behavior of an unhinged monster? Yes. He's just lonely. Baby girl just wanted a companion. I'll be his companion. I'll be his wife. He didn't get me pregnant. Alright, back here. Let's say no, we're not going to enter the room. My safety must be a priority. Now then, to the last room. Without hesitation, you cautiously head towards the room. The room is filled with dead monitors and some flickering lights. There's no power. Maybe I can find the power station in the storage room, then I can figure out how to turn it on. You turn around and leave the control room, catch a glimpse of a shadow, and you know it's not the normal flickering of the glitchy red lights. Steps are getting closer from behind. Oh no, he's coming and he's gonna give me back shots. I mean, you do the only thing you know how to do. Run or fight. Let's fight first. Oh my god, he's so hot. Your gaze finds the spot where his kidney should be, and without a second, you throw your knee at it full force. The creature manages to hit you first, striking at your head in an attempt to disable you quickly. Your head hurts, and when you pull your hand away from your head, you see bright red blood. Staggering, you do your best to run away but fail. Your eyes flutter closed, and the last thing you feel is light breathing against your cheek. I died! Yay! Retry. Alright, this time we run. You don't hesitate. You run as fast as you can away from the creature, but it has already spotted you. I should be able to at least find something to arm myself with in here. You can hear the heavy steps getting closer. You quickly grab a knife from the workbench, and when you turn around, it's already blocking the doorway. You can't run anymore. There's only one way out. Your gaze finds white eyes unprotected, and you start stabbing at his head. He counters with a wild swing of his own, an empty hand but a powerful strike nonetheless. You groan as you block his attack with one arm. It hurts, but with the other you attempt to drive the knife into the softness of his eyeballs. A millimeter away. Stop! He firmly grabs your arm, but not enough to crush your bones. He simply stops you from stabbing him in his brain. He doesn't look at the knife but at you. You have him right where you want him, and yet you falter. Speak now. What do you want? You win. It would be foolish to just agree to let him go, as if he wouldn't kill you as soon as he got the chance. But you've already hesitated. He would have killed you already, wouldn't he? Consider me at your knees. What? Okay. Down you get. Literally. You sigh. I should interrogate him carefully. You make a space between you, but still point the knife at his face. What are your motives? Not getting killed by a white-haired lady with crazy eyes and a knife. Why did you attack me in the first place? He shrugs a shoulder. Despite defeat, he's determined to be secretive. You like to think I should defer to you, knife wielder. You do. He chuckles. Perhaps he's amused, insane, or just cruel. You hold back a flinch as he quickly lowers his face to your level. If that's the case, then I'll repay you, merciful victor. Now, how should I go about that? Kiss? You think through your options, but you don't think there's much else he can do other than helping you find the cure. But he's not someone to trust, undoubtedly. I need to get out of this place. He clicks his tongue. You're lost, and you need protection from the other murderous beings. Like you. You were the one who tried to murder me. I'm hurt. You would have been more than hurt had I not granted you mercy, in case you've forgotten the fact. Oh no, that memory is perfect motivation to get enemies out of the way for you. He almost sounds like he's bluffing, but the glint in his eyes tells you otherwise. Even if he's somewhat under your command, you don't want him as your enemy. What's your name? Finally, some humanity from you. Thought you'd let me tag along without asking. I'm more human than him. Call me Lykos. I'd say nice to meet you, but saying such a thing is laughable given our current arrangement. Alright, so the rest of that chat is pretty much the same as the other route. But then we have all these rooms. I think I might go to the control room and the power station. This time we'll dismiss it and just don't thank him. Oh, he's visibly upset. And we'll just go back to the control room without going anywhere else. Okay, you don't have a key card on you. You know what it looks like, but right now you don't have it. Okay, so we have to go back to the hall because we don't have the key card. It's pretty obvious you need a key to open the door. Shush, Lykos. Shut up. Alright, well, storage facility first, because that's where we find it. Okay, well, archive first, because I think that's where we find the key. Yep, so we have the key card. We'll go back to the control room now. Then we'll just go to the exit. But then the ending is, like, the same. It's still the ending where he, like, forces you to stay with him. Because I know there's 4, so I want to try and get all the other ones. Let's try this. We enter the room. Last time we helped him. This time we'll just leave. You can't afford to deal with this, so you immediately walk out. You don't like abandoning him, but your sense of self-preservation won out in the end. It's not like you care about this man anyway. I do. Look at his boobas. You're not gonna fail. Not now. Now then, to the last room. Without hesitation, you cautiously head over there. Okay, so then we just encounter him again. I wasn't able to find the fourth ending. I tried like all the different branches and like clicked around everywhere and did a couple more playthroughs, but I don't know if I'm just like failing or if I'm just being a bit silly. So if you guys do manage to find it, please let me know what it is because I would really like to know. I only managed to find the one where he kills you, the one where you leave with him, and the one where he gets you to stay with him. So yeah, I've only got those ones. But thank you so much for sticking around and hanging out with me while I play through Blightborn. I really like this. I've been waiting for something akin to like a Resident Evil kind of style like dating sim with like a whole Umbrella Corp type situation going, so I was really pleasant and surprised to see something like this. I love the art so much. I think Lykos is absolutely gorgeous. I think Cal did an absolutely incredible job at doing the art and also the art direction and the GUI and everything, and also the writing was so intriguing as well. I had a really good time. I did see that they were planning on adding 2 more love interests as well, so Lykos is not going to be the only one. There's going to be another 2. And I'm excited to see whether there'll also be like monster forms or maybe we'll get a character that's kind of like Leon Kennedy almost. I'm very keen to see. But thank you so much for experiencing this story with me. If you guys like this video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one. And also, if you want exclusive playthroughs, uncut reactions to my spicy scenes, and also spicy 2D man art that I do, head to my Patreon, link is in the description box below. But thanks again, and as always, until the next fictional man, take care.